What is your strategy to win? What is your strategy to win? I'm just curious as to what is your strategy to win? So many times we come with I want to win, I want to do this, I want to do that, but we don't have a strategy to win, to come out on the other side. Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, I want to drill down. I want to push forward. I want to challenge you. Do you have a strategy to win? Do you have a strategy to win? If you do, put it in the chat area. Yeah, I do have a strategy to win. Or are you just living a random life? Are you just taking it one day at a time? Oh, well, I get up and whatever comes my way. Well, let me help you. That may not be the strategy to win. In fact, you may, as the Army would say, you may have to overcome a certain situation. You got to overcome whatever is coming your way. Or, as the Air Force would say, flexibility is the key to air power. And Army says adapt and overcome, adapt and overcome. And it would be better if you already had a strategy to win. Well, that's what we're going to get into. The text talk 5 minutes, text talk and takeaway 5 minutes or less. You already know it. What's the text this morning? The text is a familiar one, but I want you to see it again for the first time. Jeremiah 29:11. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know, God talking to Jeremiah, who's in the midst of a terrible situation. Doesn't look like he's going to win. And in fact, it looks like he's losing to the point that he's tearful and find himself in a cistern, and it just isn't going well. God tells him this: For I know the plans I have for you. I have a strategy for you, declares the Lord. A strategy that will prosper you and not harm you. A strategy that you should have hope in because it's going to give you a future. Three things I want to share with that. First thing is this: if you don't have a God sized plan, you're going to have a God sized failure. Let me say that one more time. If you don't have a God sized plan for your life, you're going to have a God sized failure with a little g, God. Because if you don't plan to win, you will in fact fail. No question about it. I always say it, I'll repeat it. You've heard it 1,000 times. If you shoot after nothing, you're gonna hit it every time. The second thing is this. Strategy is long term. And God says, I am the Alpha and Omega. I know the end from the beginning. When the whole thing kicked off, when the Big Bang happened, I was the one that lit the match. I am the one. I'm outside of time and I started time and my wristwatch ain't late. It's not slow. So here we go. The bottom line is that strategy is a long-term plan as to how you're going to win, which means that along the way, there's going to be some stubbing at your feet and your toes, and you're going to trip over some things, and you're not going to always be on top. Sometimes you're going to be on the bottom, but it's not over because it's a strategy that gets you to the win. It's a strategy that gets you to the win because God says, I know the end from the beginning. I know the end from the beginning. Where you are right now is not where you're going to be. Can I talk to somebody this morning? Here's the third thing. The third thing is the time to plan is before you need it. The time to plan is before you need it. The reason you have a contingency plan, the reason that you say I have an emergency fund, the reason that you keep that jar and you stuff some dollars in it along the way, however you do it, the reason you do that is because in the moment that you need it is not the time that you do it. The time that you do it is the time before you need it. You got to have a strategy, a plan before you need it. What's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this: do you have a strategy that is God ordained? He said, many are the plans of a man, but it is God's purpose that will prevail. It is God's purpose that will prevail. Do you have a strategy that God has ordained? The Lord be with you today. His face shine upon you and give you peace. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. God bless you. Bye now.